Hello, ladies. Hi, 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 hi. I'm here. I was so graciously nominated by Abby AKA PEP to do the 10 Crafty Questions Challenge. Hopefully, we can make this as painless as possible. Thank you again, Abby, for nominating me. She's gonna wake up and see a text that goes, "You tagged me, what?" It's just gonna be a quick video. I guess if you guys want to hear anything about me, this would be the video to listen to. The 10 questions, I have them printed out to the side of me. I'm just doing some work over here. Just gave you some pretties to look at. I'm sure you probably can't see it because I'm always blurry, so it doesn't even matter. You just see my voice, I guess. Number 1, what is your name? My name is Michelle Scott. Number 2, how did you come up with your YouTube name? I did not. My parents named me back in 1972. So essentially, they came up with it because they named me. What is your favorite craft? My favorite craft would have to be anything that involves paper, fabrics, textures. Dabble in a lot, but I currently love making journals, working with vintage paper and books, and I've recently started I don't know, doing some picking. I love picking, things like that, just to find things to work with. Always have called myself a gatherer on this channel. We don't use the H word around here. It's a bad word. So basically my favorite craft would be anything to do with paper, fabric, textures. I love textures. You know, I love I love that feeling, the grunge. I love the I like to get into it. And who got me into paper crafting would be the lovely person who nominated me for these questions, would be Abby at Purple Cottage Crafts. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was shabby chic girl, and I started dabbling and mixing shabby chic with punk and doing wall hangings, doing some mixed media, things like that. And she had always, well, not had always, but she was basically, you know, paper crafter. And she's like, "I'm gonna make you love paper." I'm like, "No, you're not." Now I'm freaking obsessed with it, especially vintage, anything vintage, and that comes from working with Patty Lang. Um, the paper back then was just so lush and so beautiful, and I try to incorporate it into my crafting as much as I can, which is basically a lot. You see some vintage quilt squares over here, some vintage tatting, and I put that cool vintage napkin right there because it says S for Scott. That's me. It is purple, yes. What is your, oh, it doesn't say what is. It says favorite place to shop for craft supplies. Oh my goodness. I have recently, um, not recently, I would say for the past, I don't know, 8 or 9 months, 8 months or so, been traveling all over the state of Ohio. I love antique shops. I love estate sales, garage sales. I love things like that. I do shop a little on Etsy. I do shop a little on online auctions. But my favorite thing would be going antiquing. Uh, that would probably, yeah, brick and mortar type stores, like antique Amish country. I live in the country as it is, kind of. Anyways, there's a lot of Amish around here. I love, going to the Amish and their upholstery stores and their, their vinyl stores. I like working with new textures. I'm really into like textures. I like that. I like the old. Um, so that would be it. My top 5 crafty YouTube channels. I can't name that. Um, I watch so many different things, and if you've been listening to me lately, I tend to not watch. Okay, I can't say I don't watch other crafters because I do, but I tend to not watch them as much as I did. How about that? How about we go with that? Because I want to keep my own aesthetic with my stuff. And if I see something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to make that. But then it looks like that person or this person or something like that. And I just want to be Michelle. So my top crafty favorite YouTube channels, it's different. I watch different things now. I love there's a channel called Garage Flips. I love him. I love the Crazy Lamp Lady. I love Alex at Curiosity Inc. Things like that. Things that don't have to do with really crafting. But I do have my favorite crafters. Believe me. I'm not going to name them because, that wouldn't be fair. Because what if I forgot somebody and they'll be like, hey, yo, you forgot my name. So I'm just gonna, I have some linked at the bottom of this video that are some of my very, very favorite crafters. Number 6, my favorite color. Oh, come on now. Please, everybody, hashtag pink everything and grunge. Is grunge a color? Because if it's a color, then that is my color. I love pink. Something about it. I like all the hues of pink. I don't go into like the hot pinks or anything like that. I like the more lighter, softer side. More of like the pastels, the dusties, that kind of pink. Um, but I mean, just anything that comes out. I'm sure you're not going to be able to see this because it's going to be blurry. But the pinks in here and stuff. I just love pink and grunge and vintage. If vintage has a color, that would be that's my 3 favorite colors. There, I gave you 3 favorite colors. Number 7, favorite craft tools to craft with. Wow. My distress inks, because it gives me that grunge color. I love a good pair of scissors. And believe me, Jay knows which ones to use and which ones not to use. They're under lock and key. My paper cutter I would need. I'm thinking of what I grab for on a daily basis would be my scissors, my inks. I love working with wax linen. I love working with vintage fabrics, things like that. I don't know, is that a tool? I don't know, but I'm being a tool on this video. This is crazy. Craft tools. I'm looking around. I have a Vagabond 2 that I love. Working with my embossing, laces, things like that. If there's the tools, then that's what I like. Number 8, where do you get your crafting from? Wow. I'm going to say both my mother and my father. My mom, most of you know her as Marsha. We love the Marsha. She comes on live with me, or has before in the past, and she comes into my live streams and talks and stuff too. She's very creative. She's a writer. So I get my passion and my love of vintage books or all books and reading from her, period. Hands down. From kindergarten, I remember we used to have to string this caterpillar worm, and my caterpillar was always the longest in the class because I've read the most books, because, I love reading. I love it. I will read pretty much anything. It doesn't really matter. I collect books. I collect vintage books, basically. But I do have a collection of books of my favorite authors. From my father, my dad is one of those people who can look at a picture and draw it. And I kind of have that same talent, I guess. However, I don't really draw a lot, but it is something that that I can do. We also are very hands-on with building using wood. I love flipping furniture. One of my videos, last videos, was I flipped a frame for you guys and showed you how I did that. Basically all the furniture in my house is flipped or repurposed. I love working with my hands that way more during the summer months. I do live in Ohio, so during the winter, I won't be able to do that as much. I'll be in my crafting more. But I just, yeah, both my parents have some kind of influence on how I craft, the way I craft, and my love of craft. They're both, makers in a sense. My mom, with her writing, and my dad with, his hands, and me with my hands. Yay! Woo! We all have hands. When did you start crafting? Wow. This question took me a while to think about, because I started, it'll be 3 years on December 24th, Christmas Eve, that I have been on YouTube. I've been very blessed to be part of YouTube. I love being a part of YouTube. So I would say my hardcore crafting would be, when I started my YouTube channel, be 3 years ago. But I've been basically doing it pretty much most of my life. I've raised 2 boys. They're older now. They're the twins. They're 23, and I still obviously have a 14-year-old at home. But their rooms were always, the twins had, murals on their wall. I'm big into like painting murals, things like that. And they were, like 2, so they're 23 now. I don't know. It's been a while, a long time. I've always dabbled in something or had a project or 2 to do. So, that question, but hardcore, definitely for the last 3 years, for sure. And the last 2 years have just been hardcore into the junk journaling and the paper world and everything like that. And again, thank you, Abby, for that. Because she really, really pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me try something new. And it has brought, like, passion definitely into my life. I always say that in my videos, to find your passion. And I believe that she's really pushed me really hard to find my passion. And it's just been wonderful. And Patty Lang has pushed me into the vintage part of it. And it's just come together and worked out beautifully for me. And I thank both of them for that, for sure. What has been your favorite craft so far? I think I just explained that. Oh, geez, you can see the video on here. Sorry, whatever. I don't care. You're just listening to my voice anyways. One of my favorite crafts so far, it has got to be the junk journals that I put out. When I do my junk journals, I don't look at them Okay, let me change it. Let me change this. Okay. At first, I was doing them more as art and, packing them full and stuffing them, and the fatter they were, the better they were, and everything like that. As of late, I have been making them more about the journaling rather than, I don't want to say rather than the art, because I still incorporate that in everything that I do because I love putting in the vintage pieces and everything like that. I'm on Tracy Fox's design team. What up to the Fox, dude? Um, I love being on her design team. She's very, very talented. I love working with her. Um, I would show you where's my latest junk journal? I don't know where I put it, but anyways, I would have showed you, but I can't. So it's over there. We're fine. Anyways, my favorite craft so far, let me just shut up. I'll just say junk journaling, working with paper, anything to do that I want to be creative. I want to be innovative. I want to come up with original things. I want to, there's just so much I want to do. I have a new um, thing. I haven't announced it yet. I know y'all, I've told you this like 2 months ago, but I'm still venturing and dabbling in it. When my mom came, we really worked on it. Um, I do have a few test things out there. If it works out, I will keep you guys informed. So that's a little bit about me. I guess my 10 crafty questions. So I'm supposed to nominate people. So I'm going to nominate Lorelle, who is Forever Purple Creations. Haha, Lorelle, you're nominated. I'm going to nominate the lovely Maggie White, who is like queen of all queen of doilies, and love her. Um, Everybody's going to be linked below in this video so you can go and check them out. I'm going to nominate Maggie. And last but not least, I am going to nominate Miss Patty Lang. That's right, Patty. We want to know. We want to know from all three of you. And y'all better do this because I did it. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about, me. Uh, Thank you to my mom and dad. I feel like I'm accepting an Emmy now. Thank you to my mom and dad for giving me my name. It's been my name my whole life. Even when I was married, I never changed my name. I appreciate it. I thank you for naming me this. However, I wish, no, never mind. I was gonna say I wish there was 2 L's in my name because I could find more stationery that way, but that's okay. I'll take the 1 L. I like it. It's different. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abby, AKA PEP. I love you. Thank you for nominating me. You're the pep to my salt, girl. So Lorelle, Maggie, Patty, challenge is all up to you. Ladies, thanks for listening. And gents. Um, good luck watching this video. I'm out. See ya.